we're back with today's health and a lesson in safely storing your food.
Get this, Prevention Magazine found that the average family of four, this is hard to believe, throws out almost 122 pounds of food per month. That's the equivalent of... But that much food
plus 25.
That much food does not have to be wasted if you know how to store it. So Courtney Smith is Prevention's executive editor. Hi and welcome. And that is a staggering.
That's a startling
Thinking
number.
about how many people are starving in this world. How are we wasting this much food?
It's true, and a lot of it is because we misunderstand the sell-by date, which a lot of people think that's when the food goes bad. That's actually when the food is at its peak freshness and flavor.
Why
there's
do
a
they
window
say
there.
that?
They should tell you that.
No, they should say window up.
It's for the store. It's not for us. It's so the store can sell it in a timely manner.
Well, if you keep your fridge at the right temperature, that's one of the smart things you can do to make sure that your stuff doesn't go bad quickly, right?
Yes.
What's the right temp?
40 degrees or below.
Okay.
Over 40 and bacteria can multiply much faster. So under 40 degrees, the bacteria stays low and that prevents spoilage.
Okay.
But less than 32, you're going to freeze it.
And you worry about things like milk and butter and all those kind of things. You want to pop open the fridge and let's see what we have inside.
Absolutely. We have our thermometer, and then for the milk stays good for 1 week past the sell-by date.
One week past,
And the key is you want to store it in the back on the shelf, not on the door where it's warm.
Okay.
The same thing with yogurt, 10 to 14 days past the sell-by date, and eggs. Those last 3 to 4 weeks past the sell-by date.
To put this on the packaging. No wonder we're wasting so much.
What should you put in the door since the door isn't as cold? What kind of things are okay for the door?
Condiments are okay because they have vinegar and acidity and they last longer. Perishables, you want them in the fridge.
Okay, got
That's
it.
great. I mean,
Now, canned goods are something that people do think last
Forever. They do.
Not true.
No, they don't. No, they don't.
They last for 2 to 5 years, which sounds like a long time. But remember, first in, first out. FIFO is what we say.
What does that mean?
You want to put the oldest cans in the front, so you take those out first. And oil is another surprise. It lasts 6 months unopened.
or it can get rancid.
It can get rancid.
And what about vinegar? Same kind of thing?
No, but with the oil also, once you open it, you only have 3 months at that point. So you want to keep in mind how long you've been using them.
Okay, and how long
Maybe
have those
even mark it from the day, because you don't remember.
You don't remember.
How long have they been on the shelf in the store? You know, sometimes they're dusty when you buy them. You know what I mean? They've been sitting there forever. I'm just saying.
Shop.
Well, the dates we're giving are for the home, for people to remember.
Okay, all right. So fresh herbs and things.
Yes, you know what? You want to store these. You want to wrap them in paper towel to soak up the moisture, and then put it in a plastic bag and put it in the crisper. And that's where you want to put all your leafy greens in the crisper that holds in the moisture.
How long will that last, do you think, if you do it right?
You know, it really varies so much. One key, though, is you don't want to store herbs with your fruit. You want to keep fruit separate from vegetables and herbs.
Why is that, Courtney Smith?
The fruit, when it ripens, is releasing a gas that speeds deterioration.
That's what the smell is.
Yes.
Oh,
So these will actually get worse fast, go bad faster.
When you have fruits and veggies, should you immediately wash them when you get them home? Does that do anything to them in terms of how long they last?
You don't want to wash them immediately because the added moisture might create mold. So you wash them right before you eat them.
Absolutely everything wrong.
Right. Okay, and should you leave these out?
You can leave them out until they're ripe, but then you want to move them into the cold because that will slow the ripening. Yes, and keep them at their peak for longer.
Okay.
You know, berries and grapes, you want to store them in their original container. Wash them before you eat them. Store them in this container, though, because it has ventilation, and that will help keep the mold growth down.
Okay. I think my daughter eats 10 pounds of grapes a day.
A
day.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now, coffee's one of those things that I always heard that if you put it in the freezer, you can go back a year later and it'll be still fresh.
I'm sorry, Hoda, but you're wrong.
Anyway,
you know, when you take it out from cold to hot, it will condense in the bag and ruin the coffee. So store it in an airtight container on a shelf or a counter.
Just a couple seconds. What about potatoes and onions?
These you want to store in a cool, dry place like a cabinet, and don't store them together because the potatoes will make the onions go bad faster.
Oh, really? And smell too. Okay.
Courtney, that was all helpful.
Thank you.
For once, I learned something.
For once.
Good.
Just kidding.
We can save you money at the grocery store.
We'll be back with more, but first, this is Today on NBC.
That was amazing.